The second part of section 3.7 is on dividing by a binomial. Remember that a binomial is a polynomial that has two terms. To do this division, we're going to use long division. So first I wanted you to review and recall the steps for long division if you're just dividing numbers. So we have 4 divided into 381. So remember the steps without a calculator. 4 will go into 38. How many times? That would be 9. Then once we get the 9, you multiply. 9 times 4 will be 36. The next step is subtraction, which will be 2. And then we bring down the next number, start the division over again. 4 will go into 21 5 times. Multiply 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract, which is 1. Okay, the 1, remember, is called your remainder. And if we wanted to write an answer for this, you would take your remainder, write it over what you're dividing by. So my answer would be 95 and 1/4. Okay, we will use the exact same steps to divide polynomials. Okay, here's your problem. It's going to say divide x squared plus 2x plus 10 by x plus 5. So the difference here is that I'm dividing by two terms. This is a binomial. We cannot work it out like we did the previous problems when we were dividing by a monomial. We're going to use long division. So x plus 5 is being divided into x squared plus 2x plus 10. Okay, so just like the numerical problem we worked out earlier, I'm just going to do one portion at a time. I want to divide x into x squared. So ask yourself the question, what times x would equal x squared? Okay, well, that would be x. So we skip a space, write it over its like term, see that it's written over 2x. Once you get the term on top, then you're going to multiply. X times x is x squared, and x times 5 is 5x. Okay, so it's kind of like distributing here. Multiply x times both terms in the binomial. Then what is your step after multiplication? Subtract. When you subtract polynomials, it means you change the sign of both terms. So this will become a negative, and the 5x will become a negative. So I circle those to show that I changed the signs of both of those terms. The x squareds will subtract out, which is exactly what you want to happen. 2x minus 5x would be a negative 3x. Bring down the next term, plus 10. Divide again. So I would ask myself, what times x would equal negative 3x? What times x would equal negative 3x? Negative 3. And see, that's a like term with the 10. It always kind of lines up that way with your like terms. Again, multiply. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Subtract, or change the sign. So see, notice they're negative. I'm going to change them to a positive and circle to show that that's been changed. The 3x's, negative 3x, positive 3x, gone. Positive 10 and positive 15 would give me 25. So you're finished when you do not have a variable down here, when it's just a number. And so this number is my remainder. And there are two ways you could write your answer. One would be just like what we did with the numbers. I would come to up here and say plus my remainder, 25, over what I'm dividing by. And so all of my answer would be x minus 3 plus 25 over x plus 5. On the homework, in MyMathLab, it may actually say quotient, give you a blank, and then remainder, and give you a blank. So the quotient would be x minus 3, and they would just want the remainder as 25. If it does not say quotient remainder, if it just says type the answer, then you will have to type it in the way that I have here in the box. These problems take a lot of practice. So we're going to have several examples and several parts to these videos just to try to give you an example of each type.